Hi, this is Jeremiah, and what I have here is Vixen V2 from LDY. I got this balisong for free because I joined a project from LDY. They give away their balisongs for free, not give away, borrow their balisongs for free, and let flippers, random flippers, to, enjoy their balisong, which is pretty good activity. And why are they doing that? It is because the LDY here in China has a very bad reputation. Let me show you one thing. This is Baikal. This is Orion. I think you guys are very familiar with these two balisongs. And what if I tell you these two balisongs cost not the same? The Orion is actually more expensive than the Baikal. You'll say, what? The Orion is more expensive than the Baikal? And yes, that is true. And that is quite true. I do not know why they do so in China, but they did this. They earn more money in China than selling it to you guys. Because if they sell their product into foreign countries, they'll have to pay the shipping fee, the taxes. But no, there's no such taxes and shipping fee in China. There's only just, a few penny for you guys, a few dollars for you guys. If you calculate the price in dollars, there will be only 2 or 3 or even less $1 of, the cost on transport. But I've got this thing, okay? And how does it flip? It flips classic. Let me just say, it flips classic. Why does it flips classic? Because it is so handle bias, like one of those premium CCC balisong, or it's just like the balisong made 20 years ago. Now, for comparison, I've got myself the Alpha Beast. The Alpha Beast is well known to be a handle biased and heavy balisong, right? A good old classic balisong, right? This is a Alpha Beast, latched channel Alpha Beast. This thing weighs 143 grams, and this thing weighs 131 grams. This is heavier. This is heavier. Why? Because the channeled Alpha Beast is more neutral than this. I just can't believe it. The Alpha Beast is somehow lighter than the balisong. It's so rare, especially for a balisong this new. It's like I cannot flip this balisong for too quick, or I lose my control. It's a very hard balisong to flip, especially these moves, like aerial to chaplain. It does not want to do aerial to chaplain. Let me do this again. This time it landed, but if I do this, okay, I landed twice, but you get the idea. It is very hard to do on Vixen V2, but on the Alpha Beast it's somehow easier. I don't know why, but yeah. And it fans very, very, very heavy. You need to give it so much force to make it fan, especially when you're doing choker fan to palm roll. you can see my palm roll is giving more strength on choker to palm roll than I do a regular palm roll. And you can see if I do a choker fan on alpha beast and then I switch to palm roll, it's a lot more easier. Let's do this again. It is much more easier than the Vixen V2. Okay, one more time. Very gently, I can perform a palm roll. But on the Vixen V2, I need to give it brute force. That's how heavy this balisong is. So, do I recommend the Vixen V2? Yes, I do recommend it to you. Because no matter how LDY has a infamous reputation, how infamous LDY is in mainland China, it still remains a good brand in the foreign countries like America and Europe. So plusing the very, very good, that will give it a credit, very, very good. You can see this. Oh shit, there's a dead fly over there. Sorry, that's very gross. I'll clean it up later. The pinsless design here on the Vixen V2 is indestructible. The build quality of it is very good. Very, very good. And the DLC coating is just indestructible. No matter how you beat this balisong, remember, I've beaten this balisong for 1 week. And when I say beat it, I mean beat it. Look at the tip. It is a little bit rounded. Remember, this is S35VN. Pretty good steel. And steel, it flips good. And barely any scratches. Only one scratches over, I think it is over here. And I don't think the camera can call it. But so, this balisong, pretty good. But does it flips good? Meh. It depends on tastes. If you like classic balisongs, like those balisong above 150 and 160 grams, these still cheap Chinese CCC balisongs, but at the same time you want a more premium feel, or you flip balisongs for over 20 years and you want a more modern and more premium balisong than before, the LDY Vixen V2 is your choice. But if you ask me, hey Jeremiah, you got this balisong for free. They borrow it for you to flip and to review. Will you buy this balisong yourself? Okay, first, they didn't send this balisong for me to review. I do my own video, okay? Because I have no subscribers at all. Why will they send me a balisong for review, right? So, and second question, will I buy this balisong myself? No. I don't like LDY for obvious reasons. And I don't encourage you guys to dislike them, because we are not on the same country and we do not have the same memory of history. So I can recommend you this balisong, but I will not buy this balisong for me. For LDY itself, for the flipping especially, it is very fatiguing to flip, because there's so many mailing lines on the channel side, on this side, even on this side. They are deeper than I thought. It feels fatiguing to flip, and I don't like it. I don't like a balisong that is fatiguing to flip. Now, the Barebone and the Alpha Beast, these two balisongs are, let's say, the Barebone is a fixable fatiguing balisong, because it will oxidize, and if you beat this thing up, these sharp edges will become rounded and rounded, and then it will be a very smooth balisong actually. But the Alpha Beast, I kept this balisong not for flipping but for sound. I really like the sound of Alpha Beast. Plus it flips kind of good and kind of funny. But still, I still think the Vixen V2 is the worst flipper among all these 8 balisongs. The number 1 flipper in this collection, guess. You might guess it is a Baikal, but let me tell you guys, cheese is only 100 RMBs cheaper than a Baikal. It is 150, I think. I can't remember. They are almost the same price. Okay, they're almost the same price. These 5 balisongs cost very, very similar here in China. So the most expensive one is no doubt this. Okay, the Orion is the most expensive balisong here. And why do I pull these cheap balisongs? Okay, these balisongs are cheap for you. Okay, and they are easy to buy for you, and I cannot get authentic balisongs because I lived in China, and reasons, the legal issues and taxes and availability issues, it's very hard to get the authentic Alpha Beast, even an authentic crack wagon here in China. Okay, we will talk about that on the future video. Okay, so there's one thing you should know is that I especially pick these 5 balisongs to prove you guys one thing, that is, price does not mean flippability. Because in the cold truth is that the Vixen V2 is the worst flipper among all those 5 balisongs, which they are only a fraction of money of this Vixen V2. No matter the material, no matter the build quality, I said no matter the build quality. When I say the build quality is that like this is a clone, right? The clone obviously doesn't have enough build quality than these 5. Nabalis, Thomas Balisong, and LDY. This Orion was sent by a friend of mine. I didn't bought it. I've bought 8 Orions. Okay, I don't want to spend more money on Orion, but I really do like the flipping experience of Orion. I think I am just retard. But somehow I got Orion. And yeah, these are not this one. These 6 balisongs are all made in aluminum, but they are all flips better. Titanium does not give you a better flipping experience. The build quality does not give you a better flipping experience. What is good about a balisong of flippability is the balance, such as this and this. These 2 are my favorite balisongs, but the cheese, we all know that the cheese only uses 6061 aluminum, and this thing uses 7075 aluminum. The material, obviously, it is the 7075 aluminum. This thing is better material-wise, but I will still say the cheese and the refault flips the best in these 6 balisongs. I'll still say that. So hopefully this video will give you an idea about what to choose. Do not trust the price of product, because sometimes stuffs will be different than you think, especially for the Orion and the Baikal and the Orion. Well, I remember Blade Bias has once said, the Baikal is a more expensive balisong. It gives you a those kind of more premium feel than these $70 or $80 price point balisong, these cheap balisongs. No, these two balisong cost the same. And they flips, and the flips, well, they flips alike. Not because they have the same weight distribution, but the experience itself is equal. I get the same flipping experience on my bicycle. I get the same flipping experience on the cheese. I get the same flipping experience on the Orion and the Refault. I get the same the same flipping experience on this. But on the Vixen V2, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. The flippability of this balisong is just so weird and so weird, and just, you know, it's the kind of balisong that when you touch it, you'll say, oh, this is very, very unique, and I think I will love it. And then after 3 days or 2 weeks, you'll say, well, it is not as good as it was. Vixen V2 is that kind of balisong. But if you're looking for a good balisong beater, or a high-priced balisong beater, or a premium CCC, this is your choice. Okay? So, that's it for today's video. I have a date with Refault because this thing flips so good. And this is Jeremiah. I'll see you in the next video. Maybe the next video will be about the Refault and the Baikal, and discuss how they flips, because the Refault and the Baikal cost the same money here in China. They cost the same money, okay? They cost the same. This is not premium. They cost the same. Okay? So, bye-bye.